OK, guys, here we go. Stand by.
Oh, look how big my head is. I'm getting over here.
Big show tonight. We've got a great movie, world-class comedy, a very special musical performance, and later a 6-time Formula 1 champion. What more could you ask for? Oh, drinks. Bring them back. Roll titles. We've got a great show for you tonight. I tell you, it's going to be utterly unforgettable. Like, oh, I don't know, a party in a Woking Pizza Express. That's that unforgettable. Did you all see it? Woo! Here's Prince Andrew. There he is, having a cosy little chat with Emily Maitlis. Now, that is Buckingham Palace. Not, as someone said, a Weatherspoons with the furniture taken out. It's shocking, isn't it? Now, Andrew, bless him, he thought it all went pretty well until he read the reviews. Yeah. Hey, Andy, don't sweat it. Oh, no, that's right, you can't. Apparently, they've kept the news from Prince Philip in case it upsets him. You know, he still doesn't know about Meghan. Yeah. So... that could be true. So Andrew has been relieved of his royal duties for the foreseeable future. Well, that means more work for the poor Queen. I mean, here she is this week handing out the Idiot of the Year award. Thanks, Mummy. Hey, let's get some guests on. Later, we'll be meeting 6-time Formula 1 world champ Lewis Hamilton. He will be here. But first, he's the BAFTA, Emmy and Golden Globe winning creator of The Office, Extras and Afterlife, now about to tour the globe with his new show, Supernature. It's Ricky Gervais! Woo! Woo! I'll come this way. I'll come over here and say hello. Hello, sir. Hello. That's yours. That's yours. Thank you. Hey, she starred in Hunger Games, the great Pitch Perfect. Now this comedy powerhouse brings us the hotly anticipated Charlie's Angels reboot. It's a warm welcome back to Elizabeth Banks. And this Aussie superstar has earned her place in the pop history books with over 80 million albums sold and a record-breaking performance at Glastonbury this summer. It is the fabulous Kylie Minogue! Nice to see you all. Ladies, looking fabulous.
Yes, we coordinated.
We did. Accidentally.
I mean, we knew it was going to be on television, Ricky.
I've made an effort. I'm got a bath and everything. I'm clean.
Do you own proper shoes?
They are proper shoes, aren't they? They're comfortable.
Okay.
That's all I care about now.
They do what a shoe's supposed to do.
Exactly. I can walk in them. I can sit in them. It's fine.
You're good. You're good.
I've just got a glimpse of myself on the monitor. Yeah, you're right. I look like a bag of shit.
Well, it's just in contrast, you know, because you both look fabulous. Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, when I introduced Kylie Minogue, did anyone think the Dame was silent? I feel like your name needs a Dame at the beginning of it.
Really?
Ooh.
Yes, Dame Kylie. Because what are you? You're an Obe now.
I'm an Obes. Yeah.
Minobes.
Minobes.
Kylie Minogues. I like it.
What's an Obes? I'm just the... I'm the Obes
what
American.
Is an order of the...
Order of the British Empire.
I see.
What's a higher, OB or MBE?
Let's go OBE.
MBE.
We don't know.
I don't know.
We don't know. Let's say OBE.
I'm very happy with the OBE.
Yeah. Do you have to get an MBE or do you go straight to Dame?
I think you can... Oh, that's a good question.
It is, isn't it?
know.
That's
What do you
why I'm a
have to
chat
do to get the Dame?
A lot.
Yeah, that sounds really... What do you have to do to get that damehood?
I mean...
We'll never know.
With this royal family, I don't know what you need to do anymore.
Coming over here. Now, Kylie, you will be singing for us later.
Yes.
And it's a very special performance. Describe what you're going to be singing.
So I'm singing a song that we made for Glastonbury, because one of my biggest inspirations for Glastonbury was David Bowie.
Yeah.
And so it's a mashup of slow and fashion.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that Glastonbury, I didn't know, maybe you didn't know, it broke all viewing records for Glastonbury, more than Ed Sheeran, more than Adele.
But last time I was here, we were talking about it, saying Glastonbury's coming up, and I could barely, like, as it got closer and closer, I couldn't even say the word. We called it the short show. I was just racked with absolute fear about the whole thing.
But also, it was one of those things where it just all came together. It was a beautiful day.
It was amazing. It was packed. People were dressed. I mean, I really tried to stop at one point and just take the whole thing. I mean, dressed. I mean,
Well, yeah, exactly. They weren't naked. Yeah, they all had clothes on. What is that why you were nervous?
Versions of me throughout the years, like, you know, brim hats with curls coming out of them and the white hooded thing, and it was just totally and utterly surreal, and it was an absolute privilege.
Well, in case you missed it, just to give you guys an idea of the scale of this thing, here's just a glimpse of, really, it's you, but really it's just mostly the crowd and the atmosphere at Glastonbury this summer.
Glastonbury, I love you!
Were you able to enjoy it? Were you able to enjoy it, or is it just kind of this blur of a thing that happened?
It's pretty much a blur. There's definitely moments that I remember. I remember near the end I was very happy. I've nearly made it through. But overall, I just think the response that it got and the love that it had was... I was so scared about it. I hadn't thought about what might happen after it. I was so concerned with just getting there.
And because, you know, famously you had to pull out in 2005, did that kind of make it, I don't know, extra special that you got this second chance?
Everything. Yeah, it was a real second chance. And obviously I was aware that I wanted to say something and acknowledge that. Again, I just couldn't really devise a script or some lines in my head that I would stick to, and I was very conscious of, you've got 75 minutes and you've got to get off, that I couldn't go on a tangent. So I think I said enough to acknowledge.
No, you did, and it was also the thing, you don't want to upset yourself.
Oh no, because I had to stop before the ugly cry. It was okay. I got to the you know, the emotional part of it. I was like, right, let's get on with this.
I've got singing to do.
I've got like two-thirds of the show to get on with.
Well, talking of much-anticipated returns, it's just been announced, presumably you just announced, you're going back to the Golden Globes for the 5th and but you said it was the last time time.
Well, yeah, and I meant it. I meant it, and I mean it now. And it's good, it puts you in a good frame of mind. If I say this, I'm never going to do it again, I can say anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you always just say anything?
Well, yeah, only because I think I'll do this for the last time. So I'm not scared of losing my job.
Yeah.
See? So, but I think it should be the last time. Five's a lot, isn't it?
Well, it's that... I mean, obviously, I think TV viewers will be very, very happy that you're going to be back. Yeah. Will the people in the room be as thrilled?
No. But the thing is, it's crazy because the first time I did it, I thought, do I do it for the 200 egos in the room or the 200 million people watching at home? And it's no contest. You do it for them. They're not winning an award, so I tried to make it a spectator sport. I don't say anything that terrible. I mean, it's on network television at, you know, 5 till 8. Do you know what I mean? I don't, you know, break the law. Unlike most of the people in the fucking room.
And you say, you know, that you don't break the law, and you've told me this before, but someone must read the script before you go on. I do it. I say, I'm going to say what I want. I don't have to rehearse. And they say that's fine. But I do have to tell a lawyer it just before I go on.
Yeah.
OK, and does the lawyer make you change anything, or...?
No, because I know the law. I know what I can get away with. I know what I can say. Yeah. So, yeah.
It goes right to the line of libel.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
I don't libel anyone.
Dips right below.
And I've never had a complaint upheld. In 20... I've never had a complaint upheld.
Wow.
See? I know what I'm doing.
I have to say, that's really impressive.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
People say, why'd you go to so much trouble to offend people? And I say, it's no trouble. It's easy.
Here's a taster of some of your performances at the previous Golden Globe.
On a serious note, just looking at all the faces here reminds me of some of the great work that's been done this year by cosmetic surgeons. You all look great. Jennifer Lawrence made the news when she demanded equal pay for women in Hollywood, and she received, overwhelming support from people everywhere. There were marches on the street with nurses and factory workers saying, how the hell can a 25-year-old live on 52 million? There were plumbers around the world going, poor girl in town, what's fucking hell?
All right.
It's like a badge of honor to get riffed by you.
Yeah, it's not that bad, is it?
I mean, you've been there. Well, is it a good atmosphere in the room?
Yeah, I mean, you can drink, which is fun.
It's
like
the best,
here.
Yeah.
It is. It's the best one to be at.
Yeah.
It's probably the worst one to host because they're all drunk and rude.
Talking the whole time.
Yeah, I know. And then
I feel bad for everyone that has to get up there.
Yeah.
Because no one's paying any
And as the night goes on, people know they've lost.
Yeah, and then they start getting
it's
up.
soon a room full of losers.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah, you got to calm them down. I have to say, shut up.
The first time I ever met you was at the Golden Globes.
Yeah, you came over to...
I did. You do not remember that. There's no way you're very
The researcher told me. I went with it.
I like that you called him out on it. That's very good.
Come on.
In my defence, I was loads of people coming over, and it was crazy. I didn't
Really?
think
You
we
were
were going to...
standing by yourself when I came over.
I went...
Glad you came over.
I didn't know anyone there, so you know, it was overwhelming.
No, you were standing with the office crew.
Yeah,
You had just won, like, first Golden
I know,
Globe. And
it's crazy.
And we loved the show, as everyone loved the show.
I didn't realise how fat and sweaty I was until I saw the pictures the next day. And it's shocking. You know what I mean? You see yourself, oh, my God, yeah.
You were all having beers around a
know.
stand-up table with your Golden Globe. And...
I know, it was crazy. And I went home early because I was doing my first job the next day. I was shooting an episode of Alias. Do you remember that show?
You love Jennifer Garner's Alias.
Yeah, that was... And because J.J. Abraham was a fan of The Office.
Abrams,
and so I started that the next day, so I couldn't even get drunk. Just sweaty.
And talking of kind of pushing the line of comedy, in Pitch Perfect, you and John Michael Higgins, when you're doing the commentary for the thing...
Yes.
Presumably, is most of that improvised?
So we get written a lot of great jokes, and then, of course, we expand on, we play around. Yes, he's one of the great improvisers of all time, and he's constantly trying to make me laugh, to cut me up, right? So we know the movies are PG-13, so we know what the line is, and then he'll so I'll say something very sweet, like, we're watching, in Pitch Perfect, we're watching a cappella groups sing a bunch of songs, and I'll say, well, I don't know, I usually like Christian music. And he'll say, and big black cock. And of course, then it's all over. I'm falling out.
I don't remember that from the film.
It doesn't make the cut. I don't know why. Not PG-13. Totally true, but not PG-13.
Kylie will never get a damehood now. She's been embroiled in this sort of filth. That's it.
Yeah. Move down the couch.
Exactly.
Just distance yourself. Don't be in a two-shot with her. Yeah. Now, if you want to see Kylie Minogue on television, they can, because at Christmas time, Channel 4 is having like a very Kylie Christmas.
It is, actually.
Yeah. I know they've got the concert film of Golden, the tour.
Yep.
That's also available on DVD and CD from the 6th of December. What a lovely gift that would make. And but before that, you've got this special show with our good friend Alan Carr. So what is that? Because it's not just a concert. It's not just
No, well, it's a first-time format. So the deal is a group of fans have been kind of assembled at this venue. They think it's for a Kylie-related something. I don't even know what they were told. But the surprise is I turn up and it's a whole like Q&A and I do a number of songs and Alan hosts that. But the hilarious part is when we did one of the comedy sketches and I had Alan in my earpiece telling me what to say to unsuspecting people in a car.
Let's have a look at a clip.
So what are you up to? Anything exciting?
You're doing a TV show.
I'm doing a TV show, yeah.
And you're singing your brand new single.
And I'm singing a brand new song.
Spank Me, Harder, Harder.
It's called Spank Me. Brackets Harder, Harder.
I have a petting zoo in Filey.
So yeah, I made a petting zoo.
In Filey?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I've got little
giant rabbits.
lambs and like rabbits, but the giant kind.
Alpacas.
Alpacas.
I put a cornetto on its head and pretend it's a unicorn.
There's a donkey and I put like a cornetto on its head and pretend it's a unicorn. Something to me in the village.
The village.
The people are so sweet. The people are kind of going...
I was dying on the inside thinking, how are you even still talking to me? And there was a lot that we had to nuke.
Yeah.
The big black top.
I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it.
I couldn't do that.
It's too much.
Yeah.
Too embarrassing.
Yeah. No, share a car. I mean, who could?
Yeah, you.
Madness.
It's funny because it's true.
Let's move on. Elizabeth Banks. Yeah. Elizabeth Banks brings us Charlie's Angels. It opens next Friday, the 29th of November. And when I say you bring it to us, you bring it to us. You've got every job on this.
Yes.
Yeah, you produced it, wrote it, directed it, you're in it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's... like, the amount of work is just mind-blowing.
You know, I'm very selfish. I wanted a real clarity of the vision. It's really exciting. I loved the original Charlie's Angels. I wanted to be Kate Jackson growing up. And no one... You know, every time I talk about the 70s show, I believe that the four of us know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
My young cast does not have any idea what I'm talking about.
Did you show them any of the original show?
I show that they love the hair, right? And the clothes. And they definitely got the sort of sense of the DNA of it, which is women working together and having fun and the action, and that it was really revolutionary at the time.
But you introduced, well, two already angels, and this introduces a new angel. So
I wanted to tell an origin story about how the three women came together, because that's never been done in the series before, and I have this great opportunity with two fabulous British actresses.
I know, yeah.
Naomi Scott, who played Princess Jasmine in Aladdin.
She's been here, she's terrific.
She's terrific, and she's like the heart of the movie, and plays a whistleblower at a company that is, you know, there's a lot of corporate malfeasance going on in the world.
Yeah.
And she's a whistleblower, and no one believes her except for the angels, and so they take her under their wing.
And the other Brit is then Ella Balinska?
Ella Balinska. Balinska, yeah.
She comes from a sports...
She's very sporty, yeah. She can throw a javelin, like, through someone's head, probably. This was a great opportunity to introduce the world to a new female action heroine. She's 6 feet tall in her bare feet. She could kill you. And, you know, is just a bona fide action star. You know, it feels like in a Charlie's Angels movie, you need a bona fide action star, and that's what Ella was. And she won the role, man.
Well, we've got a clip from Charlie's Angels. This is Naomi Scott kind of being introduced to behind the scenes of Charlie's Angels.
This is the closet of my dreams. And I just get to take whatever I want?
Borrow.
Oh.
Is that an actual rule?
Okay, so you want to start with a protective base layer? I recommend the fitted camisole. Yeah?
Huh. Some kind of polymer material.
Bulletproof composite body armor. It was originally developed as a protective layer for spacecraft.
Yeah, and it's a bra that doesn't dig. Progress.
How are we doing down here? Ah, we're still in the first closet.
There's another closet.
Armory open.
Yeah.
I'm glad he talked about
A wall moved, a wall moved.
I could have been that.
He's gonna sat
Sitting down at the end.
Sat down in the chair and gone like, cool.
Seriously, things blow up, I promise you. I promise you, things fall into water, all sorts. But going back to the 70s show, as a younger person, Elizabeth, you did sort of channel the 70s hair. Now, there's a picture, you posted these. There's a picture of you. This is, I think, just nature. I think this is just nature giving you big 70s hair.
Let's see what happens. Awesome. Oh, look at my buck tooth. That's so cute. By the way, never had orthodonture, no braces. It just straightened out.
You grew into yourself.
I grew in. My head got bigger. Big enough for my giant teeth.
But I never wore braces either.
That haircut was... Yeah. That haircut...
You may grow into yourself.
Yeah. I definitely... What?
There's still time.
Yeah. This is it. I'm getting shorter and it's all going south now.
But this, so to distract, perhaps to distract from your teeth, I don't know what instruction you gave the hairdresser.
Oh, no.
When you went in and got this.
Yes! That's epic. That's my hair.
Hold on. Is it, or is it, that's a tree behind you?
He's standing in front of a bush.
I mean, that's Marge Simpson hair. That's in which she takes it down.
By the way, that's me. Look how proud I am. I made that necklace myself. And I was not really allowed to wear hoop earrings until I was older, and so those were probably some of my first hoop earrings. My father thought that hoop earrings were only worn by pirates, so I was not allowed to wear them.
I've only just noticed this hand.
What's
this hand? Is it something? You'll regret this photograph.
No. That's Prince Andrew's hand.
Oh, God. Oh, Jesus.
Photoshop. It's Photoshop. Hey, moving on. Now, Ricky, your life seems like a lot of hard work. I mean, you're about to start the world tour. We'll talk about that in a minute. You've just come from the edit for the next series of Afterlife.
Yeah.
I mean, you're giving yourself a lot of work.
But it's not work, is it?
Well...
You know what I mean? This isn't work. We're sitting there getting drunk, talking shit to him.
Real life is work.
Yeah, exactly. My dad used to get up at 5:30 every day, sometimes still drunk, right? And work on a building site till he was 70. That's work.
No, that is work.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When he was about 60, he fell off the scaffolding, right? When he was... Fell 2 stories, right? Hit the ground. He'd done his leg in. He'd broken all his ribs. They took him to hospital. We were waiting, right? They brought him home, and he was just like a crumpled mess, and they just put him in his chair like that. And my brother, my oldest brother, Bob, heard about this, and he came over straight away to tell him jokes all night, because it put him in agony if he laughed. And so we were just watching Bob tell my dad jokes and go, "Stop it, Bobby!" That was like entertainment when I was growing up. Just the dad in agony. And so this isn't work.
So Afterlife 2, the first series of Afterlife, I guess because of that incredible reach of Netflix.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's just, I mean...
150 million subscribers. It's crazy worldwide. Yeah.
So, and Afterlife is kind of global.
Yeah. I'd never had a reaction like it. And with social media now, you hear about it, and it's been overwhelming. And it's the type of reaction as well, because people come up to me on the street and say, "Oh, I lost my mum," or "I lost my brother." You think, "Oh my God, everyone's grieving." You know what I mean? This year, everyone's grieving about something.
And Afterlife 2, when is that new series going to...
That'll be next spring. I'm editing now, and I'll finish after Christmas. And then it takes 2 months to put it into, like, 120 languages. They have to... So that's why it takes so long. Yeah.
And before Afterlife comes on TV screens, you'll be back on stage with Supernature, the tour. And this is global. You go to places that don't speak English.
No. I'm going to countries where their first language isn't English, but where I go, they can speak English. I go to Scandinavia, there's lots of pockets everywhere of people that speak English, you know. They wouldn't come if they didn't understand.
Yes, so that would be foolish of them, yeah.
Yeah.
They'd all have a very bad
They all
time.
laugh, so they must get it, or they're just timing it right. and I hardly change it, you know. I try and do universal sort of themes, you know, when you're talking about AIDS and Hitler. It travels.
We all know.
Yeah. That's funny, because you worry about it. Like, I played Berlin for the first time last year, and I thought, can I do my Hitler stuff? And they loved it. You know what I mean? They loved it. I said, let's talk about Hitler. And I think, oh, good, he hasn't watered it down, and they get all the... Like, we're worried that they loved Hitler, you know. They didn't like him either, you know. It's like if a foreigner came over and slagged off Prince Andrew, we wouldn't mind. So, I play Europe and North America and yeah.
Those are great, but actually for British people, the London dates for Supernature, they go on sale next Friday. Is that the Palladium?
Yeah, I'm doing a run at the Palladium this time, where I film it for Netflix. They've already bought it, I can say anything.
Now, high achieving couch, everyone on the couch has done so many things, but Elizabeth Banks, ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you, is still, to my knowledge, the only guest we know who has invented their own board game. We played this last time, so let's make it a tradition. We'll play around. So I give you, this is Elizabeth Banks' board game.
It's real.
It's real.
Okay,
it's
this
real.
is real, but just to be clear, this was before, like, the internet happened. I mean, truly,
this is unveiled, a party game and guide for bachelorettes.
That's right.
What do you mean it's before the internet?
I just mean it's, you know, this was at a time when I was going to a lot of hen parties, that's what you call them here, right? Bachelorette parties. And felt like we needed to actually sort of organize them around something, and this game came out of that.
OK.
Yeah.
And we've selected a few questions from...
I'm already nervous.
You be quizmaster.
OK, I'll be quizmaster. So this is a combination. You're meant to play this with your friends out at the bars, right? When you're a bachelorette. Bachelorette.
Let's play.
Can I just say, don't do the spit swallow question you did last time.
What? I'm not playing. No,
so you
not in front of Dame.
Sometimes you have to do something involving someone else, and sometimes you have to do something just for yourself, and it's sort of like truth or dare.
Okay.
So that's sort of what the game is about. So, for instance, all right, I'll go to Kylie. No, I know. Wait, okay. Yeah, this is a good one for you.
No, let's do it for Graham.
No, because you're loved up, right? You're loved up. You have a partner.
God.
All right. So the question here, this is a say question, which means she has to tell us what she would say. So the question is...
I've stopped breathing.
Also, not by law. You don't have to, really. She's not in charge. Okay. You don't have to do this, you know?
The exits are located.
This is actually a very nice... It's a nice, simple one.
Okay, thank you.
How do you signal to a partner that you want to have sex?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Like an insect? Signal! What do you mean, signal? Flag! Signal. Just set up a buzzer.
It's a little bell that you ring.
Just say pass, say pass, say pass, say pass.
That's the good one. That's the easy question.
Fucking hell, really?
Oh, my God. Do one for Ricky, and then...
All right, Ricky.
I'm not going to answer.
You had great answers for that one, by the way. You honked the bell. I got it.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good. Okay, this one's called the name game.
Right.
What have you named your private parts?
Pamela. Pamela and the boys.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Actually, you
All
could
right, no,
Pamela and her sons.
Yes.
This is a really nice one for you, Graham. Ready?
Yes.
What song always puts you in the mood?
Oh, S Club 7 Reach.
He had it ready. He knew.
Boom. Final one.
Final one. Okay.
Final one.
Oh, this is perfect for you, Kylie.
Okay.
All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
It's called Sexy Singer.
Oh, it's ideal.
Find an unattractive male and serenade him. It's totally subjective.
Yeah.
Totally subjective.
The camera just cut to Ricky Gervais. A quick little line of a song.
No, I mean, I need to...
Well, no, just look up, and then, people can imagine who you're singing to.
Brutal.
That's how you signal.
I mean...
Will you play the role for me?
Go on, then. I'll try and make myself look at
Try to make yourself...
Ooh! Oh!
Don't come closer.
I'd like to serenade you.
Okay. Right.
So what can I sing?
I should be so lucky.
Okay, hang on. I got one. You can be my backup. Everyone knows the song. Let's get a leg on it. You don't remember me, but I remember you. It was not so long ago. You broke my heart in two.
Beautiful! Oh. Well done, Kylie. And thank you, Elizabeth Banks, for Unveiled.
Oh, my God.
It is time to meet my next guest. This racing superstar first got behind a wheel at the age of 8 and never looked back. Now he's fresh from winning his 6th Formula 1 World Championship. Please welcome Mr. Lewis Hamilton. Hello, sir. Lovely to see you. Thank you for doing this. Lewis, this is Kylie, Elizabeth, Ricky.
Hi, Lewis.
Well done, you, sir. Hi.
Why is he late?
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Well done, you, because he didn't just win the world. It's your 6th time winning the world championship.
It is.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, an amazing achievement. I round of applause. Yeah.
Exactly.
And you have won, but the season isn't over yet.
Yeah.
Okay, because you were so far ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. So, my question, I mean, maybe this is a stupid question then. Why bother doing the rest of the...
That's exactly what I think.
Like, wouldn't you park up, put up the radio, have a Greg's, just not at all? It's like, I've got it. Bring me the champagne.
You know, Graham, the seasons are so long. We start training in January. Testing starts in February. First race is in March, and it goes all the way into the beginning of December. So, of course, I'd love to take a break.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I didn't have to do the last 2 races. However...
You don't.
You do.
That was my point. You don't.
I don't need the points because the championship's done.
Yeah.
And the team championship is done. But I still want to win the races, you know? And now it's kind of fun. The pressure was on previously, and now these are kind of more laid back. But in these 2 races, I can experience and learn some new things which I can take on to next year.
But now that you're the one to beat, I guess you've always been the one to beat.
For a while now.
Do people... do the other drivers kind of treat you differently? Do you feel under threat? Is it more dangerous being you because they're so desperate to beat you?
I don't think... No, it's not more dangerous. Now the second oldest driver there, believe it or not.
Wow.
And all the... You know, there's 19, 20-year-olds that have come in. But no, I honestly, I don't. I think naturally I am a target, but my race number when I was 8 years old was number 44. So even though I am number 1, and I have been for the last couple of years, and I should have number 1 on the car, I keep 44 in there. So every year I feel like I'm just starting a clean slate, and no one's champion, but I want to be the champion.
And does it get harder as you get older then? Does your reaction time go? Do you get worse? Or
I'm lucky. No, it's a really good question. Yeah. It's a really good question. No, my reaction times are pretty good at the moment still. But at some stage, they may obviously drop off. So, but you can train still to sort that.
Yeah.
I do think that there is a point in which, you know, you can't keep it up. The demand on the season is so high. The sacrifice that you have to continue to make to be and operate and perform at the top of your level every year. It takes so much time away from family, away from friends, and the sacrifices that you make. I mean, there is a point in which you just don't want to do it anymore.
And obviously you're not there yet, but these cars, obviously they're amazing and they're so super designed and high-tech. You sent a picture of the steering wheel in your car. First of all, it doesn't look like a steering wheel. So that's the steering wheel.
Ah.
So you hold on to that bit and that bit.
Is this a lesson?
I'm going home in it.
When I joined this team, I joined Mercedes 7 years ago. And when I came, everything's about weight. You know, you want to get the weight as low as possible. You want to make, you know, the suit is as light as it can be, the boots are, the helmet, everything. And I redesigned the steering wheel when I got there. So it's the one thing that particularly I can have quite a hands-on, you know, opinion on and help design. So all the buttons where they are, I helped.
All of that.
And do you win at Tetris when you play?
I'm good at games.
That's what
it does look like it, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But what amazes me about this...
Would I slow you down if I was in the car? Would that weight... Would that slow you down? Yes. Would it make a big difference, me in the front?
It would. How much you weigh?
Oh, wow.
13 stone.
Yeah.
Also, I'd be screaming and crying. Might put you off as well.
That won't put me off. That would be pretty good too.
But now, the weird thing about this, you look at all this high-tech. None of these buttons operate air conditioning. Is this right? There's no AC.
No.
Why is... Well, no. He's a multimillionaire driving. He deserves AC. Why don't you have air conditioning?
I wish I did. Jeez.
Why don't you have air conditioning?
Because it's all about weight.
So you have to get rid of that.
There was never AC in the...
Oh, I know.
Imagine that. You just open the window, don't you?
It's very breezy.
I know.
At those speeds, it's too much.
No, yeah.
No, but weight actually, you know, 10 kilos of fuel in the car costs 0.3 of a second every circuit per lap. So if I'm a kilo overweight, I can lose up to 2 seconds in the race distance. So my weight is very important. And also during the weight, I lose up to 4 kilos in the race in 1 hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah. But this is because it gets so hot, isn't it? So if you're in somewhere like Singapore or Malaysia or something...
Yeah, those ones are killer. But also because it's just incredibly physical.
Yeah.
And the G-force that we pull when you go... I mean, the thing's like on rails. So when you're doing 150, 180 miles an hour and you turn, the thing turns and your body wants to go the opposite way. So you have to have really good core stability. You can't be big and bulky. If you have your weight... You know, if I was super muscly up here, my weight would be too high. So I have to do lots of squats from my butt.
OK, so... But...
I'd like to watch that routine.
Yeah. You have to get to your driving weight.
Yes.
Oh, OK.
Yeah, so actually... so each year, the car is built to a certain weight, but at the beginning of the year, it's heavy. So they asked me to be a certain weight, so a little bit lighter than normal. But then the car goes through a weight-saving process through the year. And, but yeah, I think
what
for the
do you take away, though? What can you take away if it's...
If the car's too heavy?
Yeah.
They'll take components off. So if the car's overweight, they'll just take certain devices off the car, which, gives the
bike rack.
A second.
You don't need that.
The small
caravan.
What is the G-force that you hit?
You pull up to 6 times your body weight.
Oh,
6 Gs.
That's crazy.
Under braking and through cornering.
Yeah,
so
crazy.
And I'm guessing, Kylie, you're finding this all fascinating because, of course, famously, you've played a mechanic.
I know. I was there before you, Lewis.
Yeah, no. Did you go very method? Do you know a lot about cars?
I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. I pulled one of those things, apparently it's called a spanner, and just, be under the bonnet doing something like that. It was just disastrous.
Now, here's the thing. Obviously, it's the car and it's the skill when you're driving, but presumably there's a lot of kind of a mental attitude or something like that. Do you remember having a moment when you realised, actually, I believe myself, I can win, I can do this?
I think there were several stages of that, I think. I mean, I drove a go-kart for the first time when I was 5. I was on holiday with my parents. And they couldn't get me off this go-kart track. And I remember that, for some reason, that day. And I picked up this braking and accelerating technique, which I used through my whole karting career. So I just had it from the beginning. So I realised quite early on I had the ability, but I also looked at a lot of the other drivers who just work so hard on the training
and is that because you have a different brain? Like you
I guess, yeah.
You know, the stimulus to brain is faster. You make those...
Maybe, yeah, I don't know. I think I was just born to do what I do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Nice.
But I think what's extraordinary about that is because, you know, it's a big enough dream anyway when you're a kid to dream you want to do something.
Yeah.
But presumably you didn't see anyone who looked like you behind the wheel of any of those cars, which that must have made it harder, surely.
I think as a youngster, I was like 8 years old, so I wasn't really too conscious of that. Naturally, when we arrived, I always relate my life to Cool Runnings. Has anyone seen that?
Yeah. Cool Runnings.
Yeah,
it's like my favourite movie. Oh, they've got a picture of it. They're quick with that. The reason I select that is because, you know, they arrive at the top of the hill with this rusty old bobsled, and my first go-kart, I mean, I grew up on my dad's couch, so my first go-kart was a fifth-hand go-kart from the Loot newspaper. And it was bent and rusty, and we arrived at Rye House, and everyone kind of stopped, like in the movie, everyone stops and looks at them. And that was the same for us, so I always remember that. But my dad just always says, do you talking on the track? So that's what I would go and do, and, you know, I think I won my first few races, and I loved it so much. My dad was like, if you work hard at school, I'll do whatever I can to keep you racing. So he had like 4 jobs, putting for sale signs up, vending machines, anything that could pay him £15 or £10 to be able to fill the car up, buy new tyres. And there were times along the way where I remember I'd come home from school and I'd be like, I'm ready to go. And he'd be like, I'm sorry, we don't have the money this weekend, but hopefully by the next race I'll have the money to keep us going.
Yeah, yeah.
And so my dad's the real hero. I'm just, you know, kind of the one that's in the spotlight. But if my dad hadn't done the work he did, and if I didn't get signed when I was 13 by Ron Dennis, you know, I wouldn't be sitting in front of you today. I'd be doing something different.
And have things changed? Are there young people coming up now and you think you can actually...
No, it's actually got a lot worse.
You're kidding?
Yeah, because I think my dad spent something like £20,000 and remortgaged the house like several times in the first years we had. But today it's just got so expensive, so there are very few, if not no, working class families on their way up. It's all rich, you know, wealthy families.
Yeah.
So I do want to get involved in working with the FIA, which is the governing body, and Formula One, because then, they can do more to give back, I would say.
Yeah.
And also, it doesn't need to be as expensive as that. And I want to get it opened up, because as you look at football and tennis, there's grassroots.
Yeah.
You know, I've got a friend of mine who was nearly in Formula One and he got leapfrogged by a wealthy kid. And then his opportunity was gone. So I do want to somehow bring it back to basics.
Yeah. Well, listen, good luck with that work. Yeah. Congratulations on your 6th World Championship.
Thank you.
Lewis Hamilton, everybody. Kylie, it's that time.
I'm ready.
It's time for you to serenade a mixture of people. So if you'd like to
I will.
scamper over to the performance area. Woo. There she goes. So, here, performing this very special version of Slow, it is Kylie Minogue!
I put my best dress on, boy, I was so right. Our lives connected, now nothing's how it used to be, don't second guess it. Try can only fit in, put focus close up, you and me, nobody's leaving. Got me affected, spun me 180 degrees, so electric. Slow down and dance with me, yeah, slow. Skip a beat and move with my body, yeah, slow. rhythm pull you in, it's so touchy. You know what I'm saying? And I haven't said a thing, get the record playing. Slow down and dance to me, yeah. Slow. Skip a beat and move with the body, yeah. Slow. Oh! Come on and dance to me, yeah. Slow. Skip a beat and move with the body, yeah. Slow. Read my body language. Take it down, down, slow down and dance to me, yeah. Slow. Skip a beat and move with the body, yeah. Slow. Come on and dance to me, yeah. Slow. Skip a beat and move with the body, yeah. Slow. Slow down and dance to me, yeah. Slow. Skip a beat and move with the body, yeah. Slow. When you're singing with me, so come on and dance to me, yeah. Slow. Skip a beat and move with the body, yeah. Slow.
Thank you.
Kylie Minogue! How amazing was that? Come on over, new, and give it up for the dancers as well. That was stunning. I love that. So good. Part the top there beside Vicky. We're nearly done. Absolutely gorgeous. Love that. Very quickly, before we go, I should remind everybody that Slow is on Step Back in Time, which is the greatest hits, but you've brought it out with a third disc now.
Yep.
Because fans were annoyed.
They were, as was I.
Oh, okay.
There was some omissions, so now we've had to extend the greatest hits to 3 CDs.
Yeah.
Which is pretty awesome.
Plus, and this excited me, and this would be good for driving. It's got a 40-minute Kylie Megamix on it.
Yeah, brace.
You know, like that. How good is that?
Yeah.
It's very good. Well, good luck with the album. Thank you so much for that performance, Kylie Minogue. I'm sorry. We have chatted too long, my friends. There is no time for red chairs tonight. I'm sorry. So please just say a huge thank you to all of my guests. Kylie Minogue, Ricky Gervais, Elizabeth Banks, and Lewis Hamilton. Join me next week with pop star Kesha, writer and actor David Mitchell, superstar chef Jamie Oliver, and former First Daughter and First Lady Chelsea and Hillary Clinton. I'll see you then. Good night, everybody. Bye.
Mr. Saturday Night, Michael McIntyre, and his big show is back with us tomorrow night at 8:10. That's right here on BBC One.